A critical step for special needs planning is making sure your plan is up to date. Special needs plans are not one-off events. You don't create it, put it on a shelf, and say, I'm done. You need to revisit it at least every 3, 4, 5 years, or if there's any change in your family or the people you're naming or the situation, whichever comes first. Again, the stakes are so high when you're doing special needs planning because your loved one's going to maybe relying on this trust for the rest of their life. So what does that entail, Mike, as far as making sure that your living trust, that has to be up to date, because having the wrong living trust for mom and dad can unnecessarily cost the family hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars. Any thoughts there about?
So while it's not the focus of this particular discussion, there are different structures that a couple can use in creating a living trust. There's something generically called an AB trust, which in the past was essential if we wanted to maximize protection from the estate tax, from the 40% estate tax. Now, there's been a change in the law where we can still maximize estate tax avoidance without this mandated division of the trust into two. So we don't want to get into that in any great depth. The point is, there are choices. There's no one size fits all for the structure of a trust. So we have to coordinate all of that. Mark mentioned estate tax. We have to think about capital gains tax, that there's choices that you make that have an impact on that. So we just want to make sure that you don't have a super simple trust. We call it an off-the-shelf trust. And, watch out for AI. I mean, you'll be able to go online and pay $32 and you'll get a trust. And it may even have the basic elements that are accurate, but is it going to respond to your family's needs? Is it going to take into account developments, the special circumstances you face? No, but they're all going to be there, so watch out. We think it's going to do a tremendous disservice. It's not self-serving. Most of those are going to be messes. They're going to end up in our hands to fix, and fees will be even greater. I want to add one other thing about staying up to date, by the way. There's also legislative changes that we stay on top of. So that's why subscribing to our channel is really important. In Congress right now, there's a proposal that would increase the number of dollars an individual can retain while receiving supplemental security income, SSI. It's significant. And you need to know about that. There could also be changes and developments in the family that necessitate a change and a review of your trust. So again, there's so many reasons why everything has to be integrated. You got to watch it. They're living, breathing documents. It isn't one time you do it and you're done. Again, self-evident once you think about it for about 2 minutes.
For those of you out there who already have a living trust, if you don't have a living trust in place, you need to get that in place, especially if you have a child with special needs. You have to have that special needs trust in place. But let's say you have that. When was the last time you looked at it? Do you even know who your backup trustees are? Do you even know who the trustees are for your child? Are you sure that your accounts are titled right? Are you sure the shares of your trust are going to the right places? Are you sure your beneficiary designations are up to date? What if you change the special needs trust? Have you updated all your other documents, your beneficiary designations? So there's so many parts of a plan that have to be revisited. And whenever we work with clients on this, we have our own checklists and we have our own check-ins about this. Has to be, it is as Mike said, a living, breathing document or set of documents, and it cannot be just off the shelf. And I think let's take just a moment to talk about AI. I know this is not what the subject of this is, but we actually looked into some of the AI tools, and we talked to some AI people, and they said legal documents, you don't even really need AI to generate them. It's much more what the input is, right? And you kind of already can do documents online. So AI maybe makes it a little smoother, but there's already LegalZoom and all those things. The issue is not, can they kick out some good boilerplate language? So much of what we do is making sure the choices that go into these documents and the way they structure together are right for you and for your family. And so obviously AI is going to change everything for the way we do business over time. It already is, but I think it'll take a while before it really starts to affect things. But you don't know what you don't know. And unless AI just takes over everything and you can talk to it like a human, I guess maybe then it could do some of this stuff. But our big concern, as Mike flagged, is if you do things with AI or online tools, one, are you going to, it's garbage in, garbage out. We say in my management consulting days, you're trying to measure things. If you don't know the right inputs to those documents, if you don't have expert guidance on that and how it all fits together, it could be useless. So even if the special needs trust has the right standard legal language, you don't have the right key choices, if it's not coordinated with the right structure of your living trust, if you're not taking into account other issues that are really hard to do with AI, it has to be kind of getting to know you and your situation, you're going to miss the boat.
I have to add another point about AI, and this applies to virtually every profession and most fields. Already possible for a brand new person, lawyer or not, to create a great website about legal practice, special needs planning. It's there at virtually the push of a button.
Say, ChatGPT, make me look like an estate planning and special needs planning expert. It will kick out a very solid looking, page for you.
And then create 10 positive reviews that I can put on my website. So, by the way, let me emphasize, we have a vibrant, large practice. We're fine. We're not threatened by this. But the concern is that so many folks are going to be misled by an AI-driven law practice or other practice in any field of law. So, it's going to be more and more critical to be critical thinkers, to be careful as we hire people to do work, as we rely on information on the web. Again, all of this, but we're very concerned about this when it comes to legal planning that involves tax issues, special needs, and the future of your family. And that's what it's all about, huh?
And you don't know what you don't know. And those tools are not set up to help you with that. We play around with them all the time. We experiment with them. We're looking into ways to make our practice even more efficient. But just be careful. As Mike said, AI can make it easy for anybody to have a very good looking website or marketing materials. That does not mean they know what they're doing. So you really got to go to people who have great experience and have done this for a long time. So self-serving, yes, but we've just seen so many mistakes made when we see people come in with plans that were done by non-experts. So let's stay in touch. You can join our Gilfix Law YouTube channel. You can also join our mailing list on our Gilfix.com website. Easy to join our mailing list. We at the Gilfix and LaPole team love to have more people in our community. Very easy to find us, gilfix.com, or contact us at 650-493-8070. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Hope everybody's staying safe, sane, and healthy, and we'll see you next time.